think we're on. Let's see if this thing is working. Pull this up real quick. It's been a long time since I've been on here. Quite a few months now. Looks like it is. See how bad it all sounds. I think the background music is too high. That's a little bit better. It's just gonna continuously do that. Well, hello, how's it going, everybody? It's been a minute, and I didn't expect to be this long on getting back on here, but it's been a crazy few months. We did go on our trip. We did get through all that. We did go all the way across Japan we ended up taking a trip from, let me see if I can pull up the map here. I'll give you a little breakdown on what we did. I've got a ton of videos of everything. I took some really high quality videos, but I plan on putting some videos out of some of the actual travel, some of the temples we went and visited, and some of the really cool things we went and saw. But we ended up, let me see here. I'm gonna try to get back, I said it's a billion times ahead beforehand, but I'm gonna try to get back to making some videos and getting back into doing this. I did enjoy doing it, so let me see if I can pull up a map of Japan. We'll have a little looky here, see where we went. Let's see here. Give you a little breakdown, maybe show you a couple of pictures here and there, where we ended up going. I'm about to put the map up on the screen. I was just trying to get it going first. Yeah, I think this will be good enough right here. Let's see here. Well, let me zoom in. Hold on, I'm gonna pop it up. See, it's too far away. Let's see if I can pull it in a little further. So we ended up going, I'll pull this down as well over here so you don't have to look up my nose when I'm doing stuff. But we ended up going from, let me pull this up a little bit. What's the best way to pull this up here? It's kind of hard to see, it feels like, but I think it might be all right. We flew into Tokyo around, this doesn't have any of the good stuff. Let me look at map of Japan. Let's do it that way. There we go. That'd be a little bit better. Here we are. Maybe that's a little bit better, and pull over a little bit here. But February, actually, I'll have to look at the exact dates, but we flew into Tokyo over here. We flew into Haneda. So we went in, I think it was on the northern side, I can't remember. But anyway, we went from Tokyo, and so this was crazy. So how it all started, we went from Birmingham Airport all the way over to early in the morning, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. We flew over to, what's up, Techo? We flew over to Atlanta. Then we flew from Atlanta, and we had the 1-year-old with us the entire time. If you've ever been with us before, which it's highly doubtful, it's been a while since we've been on. We had a little group of people hanging out for a while. What's up, Air? How's it going? But flew from Birmingham to Atlanta, from Atlanta over to, actually straight from Atlanta, all the way to Tokyo. When we got to Tokyo, we immediately took another flight all the way to Hiroshima This is a long traveling day. We were traveling for like 20 hours with the little guy. He did an amazing job. But welcome back to America. What's up, Frank Sinatra? Buddy, the clothing business has been a nightmare. That's why I have not been on. I have been having to fight why Google Maps, I'm talking about. So I was just trying to give a little brief where we went, our little travels across the world. I took, me and my wife and my 1-year-old went all the way across the world to Tokyo and traveled all the way across Japan over the course of a month. So just a little breakdown of that. But yeah, the clothing thing, I'll tell you about that in a minute. We'll get to that in just a moment. But it's been a nightmare. That's why I haven't been on here. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been gone for a minute. I have, my little business fell off a cliff, and I've been trying to work on that. I've got some things coming up, and we've been doing some other cool stuff too. So there's more stuff coming in the future, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But brief little go around. So we went from there all the way to Hiroshima. So we flew all the way across the country to Hiroshima, and then we actually took a train from Hiroshima over, actually no, we took a taxi from Hiroshima over to Mihara. See if I can find Mihara. Where are you at, Mihara? I don't see it on the thing where I've typed it in at. I guess it's in the middle of where we are. It's closer to the bay, I thought. Where's it at? Search. I guess this whole area is Mihara? Yeah, okay, there we go. So we went into Mihara, and I actually ended up staying with my little brother for a little bit, which that was so we went. We've been back for months. We're in June right now. We got back in March the 18th. We left February the 18th, I think, somewhere around in there. We were gone for a month and a day. So we went from we got to Mihara, and in Mihara it was probably about 25-30 degrees the entire time we were there, and my brother does not I guess believe in warmth, so he didn't run any heat the entire time. That was a great time. Is my wife good looking? I think she is. I personally believe it. But she usually pops on here. She might pop on a little bit. She'll probably be in the chat, to be honest, if she sees I've gone live. It's been so long. She used to come and hang out with me on here. But I went from Mihara. We stayed there for a week. Then we went over. Well, we stayed there. I want to look back at my itinerary. I think we stayed there for about a week. We went back and forth from Mihara, went to Fukuoka, we went to Saijo. I've got all kinds of cool pictures from all that. I'll pop them up in a minute. But then we went from there over to, I want to say we went ahead and went to Kyoto next. And we were in Kyoto for a week. So we took a train all the way back to Kyoto. And we went to Monkey Mountain, I got all kinds of cool pictures. I'll pull them up in a second, but went from Kyoto. Actually, I'll tell you what, let me do this. Let me see if I can, without revealing too much, show some photos of this whole thing. Yeah, let's see if we got this here. I'm gonna pull this over here. I don't think this shows anything wacky that I'd be worried about. Pull this up here. Don't think there's anything on here I'm worried about. We did go to the JoJo Museum. That was awesome, or the JoJo exposition there. We got a couple of cool things from there. I'll pull this up and make this a little bigger. No, that ain't doing it. It's like the only way I really have to like show what's going on. Let's see. Is this like not, I don't think this is in focus. Let me pull this over. It's been a while since I've done this, guys. I'm sorry. I'll pull this up a little bit bigger. We'll go here. But I went to the Iggy Cafe, the JoJo thing. I thought that was awesome. Let's see what else we did. See, we're going backwards now in the whole thing. Let me go to the beginning. Let's head on up to the top here. If it'll actually flip and load. I got all kinds of videos and stuff too. Little guy did real good. Slept through it. It's when we got into the actual airport. I'm gonna make, like I said, I'm gonna make some videos on the whole trip itself. I've got a ton of videos to use to do it. I've had so much going on. So when we got there, little dude was not happy. Then we flew in. I think this was the first night we had gotten there. Some interesting stuff we found in one of the stores immediately. That was something. Did some JoJo related goods there. I took a ton of pictures. These are some of the caps of like every place in Japan has a different their sewer caps are different. This was in Fukuyama, which is like they call it the sister city to Gotham. It's all bat related. Everything there's bat related. It's super cool to see all that stuff on there. And then we saw some weirdo art all over the place. That was Fukuyama. This is I think this was Hiroshima City, if I remember right. All kinds of, there's so much cool stuff everywhere you go. This was, if I'm not mistaken, this was also Hiroshima City. Dude, I don't ever want to come back, man. I never wanted to come back. We had an amazing time. We actually ended up getting delayed at the very end by a day because we had a flight cancellation. It was pretty cool. We got to see the sakura bloom, the cherry blossoms bloom. We saw all kinds of really cool stuff. So like everywhere we went, I took pictures. This is in Saijo. This is the sake capital of the place. Sake capital of the place. And they had, that's what their sewer drains looked like on top. We got to recreate this. I've got a picture of me and my wife a couple years ago doing this one. This is me and the guy and the wife doing it. This is in Saijo, the sake capital. We did a tour of it. Got some really cool footage of it. I'll post it later on. We got a bunch of bottles of sake. I've got some of them still. I'm still gonna pop some open and have a sip here and there. Maybe on stream, do some tasting. The flippin' scenery was beautiful though, man. Like that was on one of the trains going from Mihara to Hiroshima. We went to Rabbit Island, which is really cool if you've never been to if you don't know about Rabbit Island. Back in World War II, it's called Inonoshima. I can't remember. I have to look up the actual name of it. What happened was it was a secret island that Japan was mixing up terrible poison gas to use during World War II, and they would experiment on rabbits. And whenever World War II was over with, they actually turned around and eventually, way later on, they made it a public thing that this had happened and all this. So they destroyed all of the stuff on there. I got some really cool. I think I've got some videos of some of the poison gas factories on there. But now they let the poor rabbits that they used to experiment on with poisons there, they let them roam free. And you get to, the whole island is like overtaken with rabbits. So you can go there and there's like 1 billion rabbits everywhere. They're super cool. And you can go, there's a little hotel you can stay in there. We didn't stay there, but we just checked it out. And we had, where is it at? Rabbit Booger Ice Cream, which is really cool. Oh yeah, and then they're famous for their lemons in that area. So this is like lemon crusted chicken or something like that for the little guy. It was amazing. It tasted so good. But I know I had some pictures of the Rabbit Booger ice cream. Yeah, Rabbit Island was crazy interesting. But that was one of the first few big places we went. The scenery on Rabbit Island was insane. I took some, here's like a live picture of it. I took actually a whole walkthrough. I've got a video of a walkthrough from the beginning of Rabbit Island, like basically all around it, through all the military stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. I'm gonna post it later on. But we took some crazy cinematic. Yeah, they are living better than us there. Look at this flipping, look at these views that they have. It's amazing. That was one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my entire life. That's some of the, yeah, here we go. Those are the poison gas vats that they were brewing up over there on Rabbit Island. This right here is a massive, massive repository where these big chambers were where they used to actually store the gas, the poison gas. They weren't living as good as us at one point in time, unfortunately, because they tested these gases on them, like I said. But they had, let me see, yeah, that was. I got a video of me. I was videoing one of them and showing it. I got all that footage too. My phone died halfway through, so we used the wife's phone at some point. But Rabbit Island, man, was crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, here's you some more. Here's that right there. That was one of the most beautiful views in all of Japan that I saw. Was up the top. We got like it's like a mountain halfway through it, and you can look out, and it's got the peninsula there, and then on the other side of the bay there is Hiroshima, where it's a section of Hiroshima. It's not like Hiroshima City. It's Hiroshima is like a it's a very very big section of Japan, but all them beautiful mountains over there. It was insane. If you ever go to Japan or you're planning a trip to Japan, you have to factor in Rabbit Island. It's amazing. Some of the views were just, it was just wonderful. That and it was really cheap. It was only, I think it was like maybe like 12, 13 bucks. I have the tickets. I can pull them up, but 12, 13 bucks to go from take a ferry. You have to take a ferry over there. Absolutely beautiful. Then we did one thing quite a lot while I think there's another. Oh, there's a little video of me and the rabbits. I needed a haircut then. I got a haircut since then, but come on, play. Van Ed, man, good to see you. I'm sorry I have not been on in quite a minute. We've been quite busy since we got back from Japan, trying to get things turned around. But yeah, that you can buy like stuff to feed the rabbits. They're super tame. They'll come running up to you. They love to be fed. We did a ton. This was, I think, one of the first nights we did. We had already gotten rid of quite a lot of the plates of sushi. But we did a ton of conveyor belt sushis while we were there. They're amazing. Dude, it was amazing, Van Ed. I'm showing some pictures of it right now. Let's see. What does this say? It says something along the lines of, this is in katakana. I might, nah. I don't know. Probably says something about leave the damn rabbits alone. Don't be a dick. But this was the ferry back. We took a ferry back. My wife was a champ, dude. Frankie was a champ the whole time. She climbed. We climbed like 3 mountains with little dude on her back. Like she did amazing. It was. I'm very very proud of her. This was one of our favorite places the entire time we went. Rabbit Island was awesome, but this is Miyajima. This place was insane. So if you've ever looked and you've seen in the picture of the giant floating gate over the water, the Torii Gate over the water, this is where that comes from. It's a super super famous place, and this way off in the distance is actually that gate, if you can see it there. But if you can see, this is when we got to Miyajima. I took a little picture of the gate, all the beautiful scenery in the background and all that. Oh, dude, I am beyond blessed, man. That was is a trip of a lifetime. We're gonna go back. Since we've been there, I've decided, we've both decided, we're gonna work our asses off. I'm gonna build this business, and I've got, funny enough, and I'll talk about it before I get off, but we've got 2 other businesses that we're about to open up. The wife is about to open up a coffee shop nearby. We've been super blessed, and we've met a gentleman who's wanting to fund, and he believes in my wife and wants to start a coffee shop for her. So we're going to document that. We're going to do a lot of YouTubing about it. And then I've got another business I can't talk about too terribly much until we get into it, but it could be very lucrative. But then I'm going to get this clothing business blowing as wide as I possibly can. I've got some been trying to do some figuring out of some things. We've lost a lot of business since we've been going. I was very surprised about that, but we're gonna get all these things going as hard as I possibly can, or as much as we possibly can, save up as much money as we possibly can, and we want to move to Japan. We've decided that is what we want to do long term. Is we want to at least spend most of our time in Japan. If not, if it's possible, we're going to do it. We're gonna blast through and do it because we had such an amazing time. It's such an amazing place. But I'll go through some more pictures here, and then I'll talk about all that. There's some pictures we took of my beautiful wife in front of the torii gate. That's the floating torii. That thing is wildly huge. I'll show you some pictures here in a minute on how big it is. The little guy ate some. He ate some. That's oyster. He was not too fond of the soy sauce oyster. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. We've got some stuff going on. That's why I haven't been here in a minute. Is things have been crazy. I've turned into like an audio technician. I've been getting together. We've met a guy nearby that's basically opening up a giant festival ground, and I'm doing all the audio for it, and a lot of the other stuff. I've set up a karaoke bar in it. We've been getting into some wild stuff, dude. Like, God has very much blessed me with some crazy things to get into. But like I said, I'll talk about it in a minute. That way, if somebody watches this back later on, they can at least kind of see a little bit of what happened without me getting too sidetracked. But yeah, so we did that. This was a place we ate in Miyajima. It was okay. I wasn't. It's supposedly supposed to be a really fancy place. This was some sort of udon, I think is what she got, or no, some sort of. I had udon. Yeah, that was my udon. I wanted unagi the entire time we were there, which is like really expensive eel, and that was the one place I got it at, and I was not massively enthused with it. I had it in the past, and I love eel, but really wasn't too crazy about it there. Little guy. Doing little guy things. I'll tell you one thing, if you ever travel with children, we had a heck of a time trying to find. Japan is really weird about baby food, because he's one, he eats what we eat, but at the same time, when you're in a place that's very different, it was pretty hard to find like the pouches. We could find the pouches of like squeeze food that we usually give him, but they were always like really. Japan goes by, so over here we'll do like carrots and apricots and granola in like a packet. That's like kind of common for like baby food. They do colors. They think you should have like a certain amount of colors. So like it's every food that's that color in that pouch. And he was not fond of some of that. We did eventually find some that he was cooler with, but that took a little bit. That was a little bit of a something. But we're getting a little closer to Miyajima, or to the floating torii gate. Took a picture of him there on it. That was pretty fun. Yeah, I took a couple of. These are actually, that's how big it is. There's people actually going like on a canoe through the torii gate. Like they'll take you. You can pay, and they'll go on a little cruise underneath it. And then, oh yeah, this was an amazing. This is a very famous temple up in one of the mountains in Miyajima. And you can look out over it. Oh my gosh, that was one of the most beautiful scenes. I took, and I'm gonna do a video on each section, and I'll be putting those out in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna really go at it. But oh yeah, so you can see the tide is starting to go in now about this time. This was 11:33 p.m. It's sort of starting to go back now. Oh yeah. Let's see here if I can find. Some of the videos aren't on here. I had to take them off. I'll have to do it a little bit differently. This is my little family folder from this. I had to do it. Yeah, I was using my camera, and I didn't realize that I had it zoomed in so much. So we took a couple of goofy pictures like that. And then let me see. Yeah, there we go. So there's a little platform out in front of it. My next vacation, we're gonna go on a cruise. I've promised my wife we'll go on a cruise in the next year or so, maybe, if I can get my life turned around here and get some stuff rolling. We're gonna do a cruise to, I don't know where, maybe Bermuda, or maybe, probably gonna be the Bahamas. But from there, after that, we're gonna be working on getting over to Japan and trying to live in Japan. I gotta get back to. I'm gonna start doing some videos maybe on learning Japanese again. I think we did a couple of those. I'm gonna start actually like daily practicing. Like I'm gonna. We fell in love with it all over again. It was just such a great time. But I have a video. We climbed all the way to the top of this mountain, and then once we got to the top of this mountain, I have a video straight from the top of the mountain all the way down. The water at this is 1:53 a.m. This isn't correct. It's going off of local time or my time rather than local time. But this is that same thing that you saw. This is later in the day. It's probably about 5 or 6, I'd say. Later in the day, where the water started actually going out, and we could actually. Did you get younger than the last time? I got a haircut. I probably look a little younger because of that. But we start. Oh, that's not me either. That's my brother. But this is that same thing you saw just a minute ago, where everybody was like on the boat under it. Later on in the day, the tide came back out, and it started continuing to go back out. So you see, there's still water in front of it right there. Like as we were standing out there, it went further and further in. I took some videos too. I might be able to show one of those, but we actually ended up getting to walk out and touch that giant gate. Stand there and touch it was just crazy. I thought when we got there, that thing was totally way up to the top with water, and then I got to walk out and actually touch it, which was crazy. And then check these out. I took some amazing photos of this thing. Like I lined everything up as well as I possibly could. I've got it. The sun is just. I cranked the exposure, did some different stuff, played around with the settings on the phone. This is all on an iPhone. That's another one of it there. That's up from the top of the hill, looking back down at it with the sun coming over. But I took one really good one. Oh yeah, and I did the exposure in the opposite direction a couple times. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was a good photo. Took that on an iPhone 12. Didn't even have a new one. This is a pretty good photo. But we got to see that puppy. That thing was amazing. That was a beautiful, insanely beautiful sight. Got to see it. Took some pictures out in front of it. Little guy was happy. Had a good time with that. Did a lot of... yeah, we went to some temples, dude. We went to quite a few temples. Yeah, I got a couple of really cool pictures of her. This is on a hill in front of it. And then that was the ferry ride back. And then, where did we go next? Yeah, this is, oh yeah, the next day we went to Onamichi, which is a beautiful place. If you ever watch a little YouTuber called PewDiePie, he goes there all the flipping time. He lives in Japan now. But this was just like on a we were going up to, we were getting off a train, and here's a giant, the Ikoka platypus guy hanging out on the train deck, saying hello to the kids. They were doing some sort of like midnight train thing, some sort of release for it. This is, I told you, everywhere we went, I took pictures of all the sewer caps because they're so different. This is in Onamichi. What is this? Oh yeah. I did some of these would be pictures where I was checking out some products online to see if they were worth selling back in the U.S. And I did find some stuff, and I have already sold some stuff that I've bought over there online. Some finds. They had really cool little things set up in the square of Onamichi. It's before the sakura actually started blooming. Oh yeah, we went to 4 or 5 Pokemon centers, and the little guy, we started a tradition where we had a little backpack on him, right? And I'll find it later on and post a picture of it, but we had a little backpack on him that had a leash, so if we wanted to set him down, he wouldn't get too far away. And every Pokemon center we went to, they had limited edition pins for that Pokemon center, and we bought one and we put them all in his backpack. And then we started doing it for all the castles we went and visited. We saw 4 or 5 castles. We went everywhere we went. They had pins. We put a pin on his back. So his backpack got pretty crazy there towards the end. This is the view from my brother's apartment. It's insanely beautiful. Every time he wakes up, he gets to see all them amazing mountains all around him. What is this? Oh yeah, we had to do laundry. We were eating some of the delicious combini food in the laundry. And then, so this is the first place. This is the first Pokemon. This is Pokemon Center, and yeah, dude, this is just the first week of the trip so far. We did all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm gonna have to do videos on it. We did, believe it or not, we traveled. We did the whole thing in less than, like, the actual, not the flights, because we didn't pay for the flights. I did that with my mileage from doing my business, but the actual trip itself, the trains, the flights across the country, the hotels, the food, everything was like $3 grand for the entire month. And we went and did some stuff, dude. We did, and I could have done it so much cheaper than that. We did some stuff. We went and ate wherever we wanted to eat when we wanted to eat. We did all kinds of amazing stuff. So much to the point of where, like I said, it's been a minute since I've been on because we've been trying to catch up from some of it. But this is in the center of the Pokemon Center in Hiroshima. I wanted to do a stream there, but we had issues. I had issues doing like streaming on my phone from there. As soon as we got there, we realized that like the Wi-Fi wasn't crazy reliable in the places that we were, and if it was, like it was, every time I tried to stream, I couldn't get it to show up on YouTube. I don't know what was going on, but the next time we go, we're gonna do it a lot. I'm gonna research it a lot better. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit bigger a following, and maybe I can like buy some wireless internet to like troll around with us. We kind of, I mean, you got to think about it. $3 grand is kind of a pretty stiff. We did a lot. We did a whole heck of a lot of stuff, but it was pretty a stiff budget for an entire month, including hotels and everything else. Like in America, you couldn't even get hotels for a month for $3 grand. Like we ate on that. We traveled on that. We had to take flights on that while we were there. We did all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and we did have the Screaming Demon half the time. My beautiful wife's in the chat. The Screaming Demon he did amazing for the majority of the trip, but there were some times, and it was a full-time job having the trip and juggling the little guy. He was a bit of a trip some of the time, but this is some more from Hiroshima. This is some more of the Pokemon Center. That's the whole display in the Pokemon Center. I think it's huge in Hiroshima. Yeah, we really didn't have any free time to stream. We're gonna do better the next time we go, and we're gonna go sooner rather than later. We're gonna get this thing rolling again. This is Momoji, as a famous pastry they have in Hiroshima, and they're famous for their lemons and onamichi, so they had that there. There's like a rice paddle, or they do that over there. They have some little thing about it over there. Let's see. We saw a Moomin shop. That was pretty cool, like a pop-up. This is a little display from the moon. Or no, that was a display that was out in front of one of the shops. Yeah, she did. She was a champ, I'm telling you. She did an amazing job about carrying the little guy around. I'm very proud of her. Yeah, here's the beginnings of his backpack. So this was from the Pokemon, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. This was from the Pokemon Center. Then we got him a Moomin pin. This is from Onamichi. This is from Saijo. And then that is a JoJo pin, because I had to get him a JoJo pin. You can't not get him. That's a Joseph Joestar. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah, this is Onamichi ramen. This is some of the best ramen you'll ever have in your entire life. It was delicious. All these chunks were of like some sort of fancy fat that was just insanely delicious. Oh, okay. Dang, he's just now going down for a nap? Oh my gosh. Well, I guess now any time's better than any. Or now's better than any time. If it's not gonna have one. Daggone. But let's see. This is the bathhouse. This isn't the bathhouse, but this is in front of the bathhouse in Kyoto. That's what he does. He fights it. It's a feisty little goblin. Let me pull this up so I can see. We did go to Hiroshima. That whole thing before, this whole thing I was showing just a minute ago was Hiroshima. the Rabbit Islands outside of Hiroshima. Miyajima is right outside of Hiroshima. The whole first week was in Hiroshima. All of these pictures are Hiroshima. So yeah, all that was. Then that was a whole week there. And I skipped some, and there's some videos that aren't up there. And we did, yeah, we got to touch the floating Torii Gate. There's a bunch of cool stuff. That Pokemon Center is Hiroshima's Pokemon Center. This was in Kyoto. That was the bathhouse in Kyoto. We did do the bamboo forest in Kyoto. Had the little guy on her back the whole time walking around. That was pretty cool. I got a bunch of pictures of it. This is the golden bathhouse over there. Yeah, had to get new shoes while we're over there. Wore a hole in the bottom of the shoes. Let's see here. Got to go to the fancy Studio Ghibli place. Can't think of the name of it for some reason. And then had some ice cream, and that's at the top of the mountain in Kyoto, or one of the mountains in Kyoto. Had the fancy pancakes, souffle pancakes. I want to put all these places in the videos we make too, so if anybody ever goes, you'll have like an idea of what you might want to go look at. That was at the top of the Nintendo building, or one of the Nintendo centers in Kyoto. Had a beer too. This place we really love. This is a chain there. It's called what is it? Kamakura. And it was crap this time. We loved it the last time we went. It was crap this time. I hated it. It was one of the worst places, one of the worst. It wasn't as good. I'll say crap, but like it was so much lower tier than it was the first time we went. So definitely don't recommend doing that. Go to a local place from there. That was the Buddha's foot in near a real giant. Yeah, this is a giant Buddha on top of a place in Kyoto. You can go visit. Yeah, the ramen did suck there. The Onamichi ramen, and then we went to I'll show a picture later on, but in Nagoya we went to a place that was the best ramen we had the entire time we were there. It was amazing. Because we went to Nagoya too. This is a beautiful little flower place over in. That was in Kyoto. It's not the cherry blossoms, but it's just a nice, beautiful little flower I found. This is overlooking some of the old streets in Kyoto from there. All right, love you, babe. I'm not gonna be on crazy long. I gotta get back to doing this. This was one of the gachapons we found. Cat hats. You can get cat hats out of a gachapon. This is Kyoto's Pokemon Center. It's one of the only ones we didn't get a stinking pin out of because they were out of them. They have all the legendaries. Yeah, we'll bring it. We should come back on. We'll talk about it one day. This was an elusive, delicious treat we never did end up finding. We kept seeing advertisements for it all over the place. Never did end up finding it. We went all over this like flipping 15-story building trying to find it. Never did find it. Yeah, I found this pretty funny. For some reason, they were marketing this Hello Kitty bling to both men and women, and I'm not sure how. I just thought it was funny. This is Mountain Nadi. We climbed the Mountain Nadi this time. We actually went the whole distance. That's like halfway up the mountain. You can see all of Kyoto halfway up the mountain. That is crazy beautiful. It's a really beautiful spot. These are some of the Torii. Yeah, this is like, have you ever seen the videos of like, or the pictures of like all the Torii gates all lined up in a row? This goes on for miles. You walk through those for miles and miles and miles, all the way up to the top of this mountain. We did that. That's another pic from a little bit higher up. That is crazy high up there. It's beautiful. It was actually not as high as I thought it was going to be, but it was still pretty high up there. Had me some melon soda with some ice cream and a boot. That's actually a funny one. We thought, you see all these sandwiches? Apparently, I didn't take a break. I had my dad shipping out my stuff while we were gone, and I took a bunch of pictures and I did a lot of like listings. And I got them ready before we left, and the plan was to just release them slowly while we were gone, and that's what I did. But I've got some other issues on eBay I've got to figure out. For some reason, my revenue has dropped from like 12,000 every 90 days to 3,000 every 90 days. So I don't know what has happened, what eBay has done and changed. And that's going to be a little series I might end up doing, is like trying to figure out how to. Yeah, we definitely ate a ton. We thought those sandwiches were individual sandwiches. Everything in Japan is small, and apparently that was like for a group, and we both got one of those and ate every bit of it. And then we got fries and everything else on top of it. I'm sure they were looking at us like we were crazy fat Americans while we were over there, because we gobbled down some food. Yeah, here's mine. I had a katsu, a fried pork sandwich. It was delicious, but holy moly, that was a lot of food. Then we had fries. Then we had we both got a salad on top of it, and then the kiddo got his own like nuggets. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, we found some funny posters over there. You get some hot snacks, some misspellings. It's always all over the place over there. Always funny. We bought a couple of friends for the little guy, little baby Timmy, and I paid like 299 yen for that giant Curious George, which is like the equivalent of like $1 US. It was like $1.50, but still it was a great deal. And then this was Nada, which is like the Deer City. This is in front of one of the places in Nada. Did some JoJo stuff. They still had the old school seats in McDonald's here. We ate at a lot of McDonald's. McDonald's was flipping amazing in Japan. So much better than America. We ate there quite a bit because it was just so good. It was always open, so you could always count on. You get, if you didn't know where to go get you some nuggos in good old Japan. This is the top of Monkey Mountain. We climbed to the top of Monkey Mountain. There were a lot of beautiful places we went. That was the most beautiful place I've ever seen, is at the top of Monkey Mountain. Looking out over that thing was insane. The reason why they call it Monkey Mountain is, here, I took a couple of more pictures of like a little closer up. You could see everything for miles at the top of this mountain. It was so, so beautiful. But we did that. There are all these monkeys. All these monkeys at the top of this mountain. And we thought, they'll be like behind something. No, they're just roaming around at the top of the mountain. They'll roam around over there by you and come say hello. Like there's, maybe in this picture, this is like a little place where most of them stay. They're just like hanging out on top of the stuff over there. And they'll walk around you and hang out, and that was really cool. They were nice. They didn't get upset or get ugly. They had little baby monkeys with mamas and all kinds of stuff. We saw all kinds of really cool stuff. I've got some really cool panoramic pictures for the top of that one. I'm gonna end up putting up eventually. This is a beautiful like river that's right in front of the mountain. Took some pictures out in front of it. The super old famous bridge going over it. Then, Arashiyama is where, this is where the bamboo forest is, the super tall bamboo forest. Everybody likes to take pictures for it on Instagram, so we took a bunch of pictures in front of it. A lot of really cool ones for there. A little guy actually gave us a little bit of a smile. And then this is the kimono forest. They've got all these cool kimono cutouts there. We did go to Osaka Kids Palace, or Kids Plaza. That was really cool. They had all kinds of really cool stuff there. It's me making a wacky face. I got some cool videos of it too. I'll put up online. We did all kinds of fun stuff with the little guy there. He had a really good time there. That's out in front of there. They have the guy has this thing about putting his hand down your shirt. He's something. But We did get some cock de asses. No, we didn't get any, but I just thought that was funny. Why name it that? Studio Ghibli, got to ride the train with no face, take a picture like we did. Picture of my neighbor Totoro, Shin-chan. We went to a couple places there. Then we didn't go to the Pokemon Cafe. We checked it out because you had to have a reservation, and it was a long line. It's not really, there's nothing crazy about it. You have to plan that out way ahead of time. This is, I want to say this is, where's it, Pokemon Center where? This is one of the Pokemon centers we visited. I can't remember where this one is. This is not in I think there actually was two in Kyoto. This might be the other one in Kyoto, or either this is Osaka. That might be Osaka's. I believe it might have been. Yeah, that's Osaka's. Because we went into Dotonbori, and I got a video all around Dotonbori, which is a super famous spot. It's got the Running Man. It's this place. Have you ever seen that picture of that thing, the Glico guy? We got pictures out in front of it. And walked up and down all over there. Saw some really cool stuff. Got all kinds of videos and pictures from that. We went back at night, or we were there all day, and took some pictures in front of the sign while it was on at night. Took some pictures on the Dotonbori Avenue. That's Takoyaki. You can put a little hat on, take a picture in front of the place. That was in front of like an arcade. We went to Osaka Castle. We got to go all the way to the top of it, up there at the top. I've got some videos at the top of it. It was really cool. Definitely something to check out if you ever go. That was a really cool castle to go up. Now they had all kinds of old memorabilia in it. Old stuff. Yeah, that's like, those are some of the things that used to be on top of it. They've replaced so they could like preserve it. They're all like encrusted in gold, and they're giant. They have the giant fish right there, a dragonfish or a koi fish, and then they have a giant tiger. You see how tall them things are compared to the people beside them. Got a lot of cool pictures of it. They had all the kinds of like dioramas of all these wars that went down. If you ever seen Shogun, a lot of the stuff from it. This was at the top of Osaka Castle. They have these little don't jump off grates. It still freaked me out. I'm afraid of heights. So there was that. Took another really cool picture over one of the little places in front of there. Oh yeah, then we went to this place. Was awesome. And the little guy had an amazing time there. It's hard to even like explain how big that building is by looking at it right there. But this was like a 5 or 6 story aquarium we went to that they actually had a whale shark in this aquarium. This is amazing. This is a crazy beautiful aquarium. They had penguins. They had, these are real penguins we were checking out. They had, this was like in front of one of the glasses. This tank was massive. I've never seen such a large aquarium in my life. It was so beautiful. And then, let's see. Yeah, that's a picture. You can see the whale shark going by in it. They had a giant whale shark, which is crazy. Then we had, what else did we see? Oh yeah, we saw out in front of there was a Ferris wheel, a giant Ferris wheel. And so we went and checked it out and got on top of it. I got a video from the very top of it, going all the way to the top of it. It was a beautiful, beautiful sight. That's us underneath it. It was a heck of a time. It was pretty cheap too. It was a lot cheaper than I was expecting. But let's see. Then we ate. Oh yeah, we got a little toasty a couple nights in a row. Let's see where we went. Yeah, this was his backpack by then. That was from Nada. That's a couple of Studio Ghibli pins. That's from Nada, or from Kyoto. Onamichi Saijo. That's from a revolving sushi place. This is from another revolving sushi place. See you later, Van Ed. I'm gonna make some videos, so just stay tuned. I'm gonna make some videos of like going through, because I took like a ton of high quality long videos of this entire trip of like some of the places we went, and I'll share them and put them on here. But some other pins, we found some stuff for him. Thanks for coming by, man. For real, it's good talking to you. We got a little toasty in Osaka. We did some karaoke, and that was just like some random thing in one of the the stations. We wanted to go up to the top of. Everyone tells you to go to. There's like one place, the Sky Terrace, I think, in Osaka, but it's like $50. It's one of the most expensive things in the whole dang country. And we found there's another place that's totally free. You can just go up to. Nobody knows about. You just go up to the top floor of this one building that's public that you can go into, and see just the same stuff. So we went and did it. We went to an isekai. I got a little bit of videos of that. We ate a ton of crap at that isekai. It's like a bar. I'm surprised they let us in. They looked at us sideways when we brought the kid up. We were like, we want good food and beer. Had a really good time. Had all kinds of stuff. Some karage. I ate so much food. But then we came back from there. This was in Nagoya. Is it Nagoya? No, this is Osaka, I think. No, it's Nagoya. That's Nagoya Castle. That's a really cool one. You can't actually go in Nagoya Castle right now, unfortunately. They're worried about it collapsing due to earthquakes. If there was ever an earthquake, they're worried about the structural integrity of it. But it was beautiful to go up and check out. You got to walk all the way around it, and they had a bunch of exhibitions of like different things to do with it. And this was the first place we saw the sakura blooming. So that was really nice. We got to see all the beautiful sakura blooming, the cherry blossoms. And then this was Nagoya's. This is the big thing they have in front of their Pokemon Center. So we got to take pictures of all of it. And then, yeah, there's another section of the Pokemon Center. Oh yeah, I found this. This is a beautiful, like I think the sun was going down right about that time, right over the horizon. And one of the places in Nagoya. Then we went to, yeah, that's right. We went to Nagoya. This is one of the best places, especially the best value that we got out of the entire trip was Nagoya, the Nagoya Zoo. It was free for the little guy, and then it cost, I think it was 500 yen each for me and the wife, which is like roughly the equivalent of like $5 altogether total across the both of us. It was amazingly cheap. And they had some really cool stuff there. They had a giant tower. We paid an extra $1 and got to go up to the top of that sky tower. Took a bunch of cool pictures there. Like that was some of the coolest stuff we saw the whole time. They had bear sloths. They had one, I didn't take a picture of it, but they had a bear that was insanely big in that zoo that was chilling off, snoozing in the back. That was freaky. They had a polar bear there. I think I'll have to get some of the pictures off of her phone, but my phone died halfway through that day. But I got a lot of pictures on her phone with it. Then we went and saw the monkeys. They had a whole monkey exhibit. They had all kinds of stuff. This is a huge zoo, and it was super cheap. It was amazing. And it's even cheaper if you're a resident. They make it even cheaper to you. So that was an awesome little trip, little part of the trip there. From Nagoya, oh yeah, this was when we were back in Tokyo. And we spent altogether, we spent a week in Hiroshima, a week in Kyoto, a week in Osaka, which Osaka was our favorite the entire time. And then we spent 3 or 4 days in Nagoya, and then 3 or 4 days in Tokyo, because Tokyo was the thing we wanted to see the least. We've been there enough times. I took a bunch of pictures, though, just because we went to, that's in Asakusa, that's Sensoji Temple. That's going up to it over there. They got all kinds of really cool stuff, and I'll put some photos of it. Coolest thing about all of Tokyo is we went to Sky Tree. We saw that. It was pretty cool. Then the coolest thing about it was the JoJo World. We went to JoJo World, and that was amazing. This is Tokyo's Sky Tree Pokemon Center. It was really cool. They've got a Rayquaza in there busting through the ceiling. This was the end of the trip. How many pins we had gotten up on his backpack. We had all the Pokemon Center ones, all the castles we went and visited, and then some various ones in between. There's one that's like a baby seal from the aquarium. Then we got him one from a tiger from from the zoo. All kinds of really cool stuff. That's the sky tree. It was a lot of fun. Let's see what else there. Oh yeah, I took some really cool videos of like the water outside. I got some really high quality videos of all that. It's right out in front of Osaksa. That's in Soji Temple again. We went at night, one of the nights, and then some paintings on some of the various walls around there. But I think I'm gonna do like a top 10 places to go in each of the places. We're gonna do like the typical YouTuber like little videos, but I think we got some stuff to contribute that you don't see a whole lot, especially if you're gonna travel with kids. We got some pretty cool tips and tricks on that. This was some emoji, or not emoji, some mochi shaped like the Sex Pistols from JoJo. It was the Iggy Cafe. Had a good time there. Typical stuff. Really good time. I got a couple of souvenirs. We got that. I got, I really wanted one of these the entire time, and I actually finally ended up getting me one. Hold on, oh, no, not the chat box. Secondary, turn it off. I got myself, look at that fella. Look at that. Look how big that sack is. This is a, believe it or not, if you've ever played, I made some mentions about this before we left. These are actually hard to get a hold of, and they're expensive over there. I paid $5, or actually less. It was 500 yen, so I would have paid like $2 and something for it. But I got it out of a pawn shop in a very small part of town in Mihara. But this is, if you've ever played Super Mario Brothers, and if you've ever gotten to the section of where you can get the raccoon tail and turn Super Mario into like the flying raccoon, that's a tanuki. They have these things called tanuki, and they're actually like raccoon dogs that they have over in Japan, and they have these little things. I think they're like, I can't remember. They're like for good luck or something. All the houses have these out in front of them, and they have bigger versions of them. They have smaller versions. They have all these different stuff. But I wanted one. If you notice, he's got some fabulous genitalia. We'll go with that. Hanging out there, and his little straw hat on. But really cool souvenir. Really cool souvenir. Really enjoy it. I got a whole bunch of gachapon from it. We got a bunch of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure gachapons. I got a shirt. I got a little guy's got some of my stuff with him. He likes to play with it. I got myself a little Crimson, King Crimson from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I got me a cool golden Requiem from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Did a bunch of little stuff. I got super insanely lucky, and I did the lottery for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I got 2 of the top prizes. I'll pull them down and show them in a later video, but I got them sitting in their chairs. Really cool stuff. But I'm gonna if you've tuned in at all throughout this whole thing, or you're watching this later on, I'm gonna be on the lookout. I'm gonna make some actual regular horizontal videos about the trip, some of the things we do different, some of the things we absolutely love that we didn't expect, some money saving tips, and just how we went around doing it. But great time all around. It was a really good time. As far as, so for anybody still hanging out, if you've ever been a part of the channel or hung out with us before, we've got some stuff brewing. I've got some stuff brewing. There's a reason why I haven't been around in a hot minute. One, I've been trying to figure out what to do about the eBay situation. We started selling on multiple platforms besides eBay. I've been selling on Facebook, which I've got a whole video I'm going to make on that, about how big of a nightmare that is. But we've made more money doing it. It's been a lifesaver on some of the stuff with it, but that is a joke on getting in contact with them with certain issues. That has been absolutely asinine. But we started selling on some other platforms. I've been doing some stuff like that, doing some testing and trying to figure out what works here and there, changing some pricing around, trying to get it all to where I could get some decent income coming in. We had a real hard drop after we got back that I still have yet to figure out and recover from. But like I mentioned a little bit earlier, we're going to be opening a coffee shop, a nearby coffee shop. My wife, it's going to be my wife's brainchild. We met a really cool dude who's opening up a entire, like, basically, it's almost, I want to say theme park, but not really with rides so far yet. But it's going to have like a festival area. It's going to have a couple of restaurants. He's starting small and he's going to build out from there. But he's a really brilliant guy, and he's got really cool plans that I can't wait to. We're all involved with it. Just by the grace of God, got hooked up with him. But he is funding the entire thing for my wife to put a coffee shop in there, and it's just awesome. We're gonna do some videos on growing that, starting a business doing it. I'm sure she is. And then we are also, I've got another business. I can't talk too much about it until it comes into fruition, but in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm hoping it's gonna be cracking along, but it should be very lucrative. And if it is, it'll be what gets the income coming in like I need it to. And then we can start from there. We're gonna go back to actually doing the main plan, which was working on the arcade games, getting those rolling. And the plan would be, we're gonna get this coffee business going, we're gonna get the coffee shop going, we're gonna get this other mystery business, we'll call it, running real good. And once we get both of those rolling real good, we're gonna start chipping through these arcade games. I'm gonna start fixing these arcade games, selling them left and right, getting through the hordes of those, keeping the clothing store running in the background while we're doing it, maybe laying off of it just a pinch, and doing a, you know, it and some eBay stuff. And then while we're doing that, save up some money, pay down some debts we've accrued, and once we get kind of back to even and we're able to start putting some money up, we're going to start saving up and trying to figure out a way to do business in Japan and move to Japan. That's going to be the main thing. That's going to be over the next, let's say, like 3-year plan. I want to be in Japan. After the end of about 3 years. Maybe you'll be looking back at this video 3 years from now. We'll all be having a good laugh at the achievement. But I want to be in Japan. I want to raise my son in Japan. It's just, I think the things that we learned and what we gained while we were over there, which kind of knew it from the last time we went, but the main things that it's just so peaceful. Everything is so peaceful. Everyone is so polite. Everything is so clean. There's so much to do. There's so much fresh air. There's so much reasonable prices on food. The food is real, and everything all around, the cost of living, even factoring in their inflation, is just so much more realistic than it is over here these days. And it's just somewhere I want to raise my kid. So we're gonna work on that and do some series and getting, you know, from nothing over to Japan. But that's the plan at the moment. That's what's been going on. That's why we haven't been on here. If you're watching this later on, we've had some stuff. We've had some stuff going on. You see I've been doing some research on some speakers. I've been setting up some audio systems. I've got let's see if I can show too much here, but I got myself a little turntable. Been figuring all that out. Been doing a little bit of figuring out how to DJ, because I'm doing the audio systems for this dude on his park. We're gonna have some, like I said, some festivals out there though. Gonna have some, hopefully before long, have some bands out there. And once we get some bands out there, start working up from there, grow that thing up. Got a lot of stuff on the horizon. There's a lot of stuff to be done, but sorry I have been on for a while. I think I am gonna pop off here in just a bit, or here in just a minute, because we are getting up. Yeah, we're coming up on an hour. It's long enough to hop on for one time. But appreciate everybody that stopped by. Appreciate everybody that was supporting us before we left and hanging out with us and cheering us on. It means a massive amount. If you see this later on, drop us a comment and let us know how much you've missed us or didn't miss us. And I'm gonna start trying to get on here more often and post more videos. I'm gonna post all these videos of the trip to Japan, a lot of good 4K image or 4K video of it, and start doing some videos on what I've been figuring out about this Facebook thing, selling on Facebook and selling on eBay, and start working through it, try to figure out right now I know about this much, and we're going to get to the point where we know everything about eBay there is to know about eBay and e-commerce, selling clothing and anything else. We're going to figure it out. Figure it out with us. Come back and hang out with us. So, thank you for coming by. Thank you for everyone, like I said, that supported us. And you guys are awesome. But I'm going to pop off here.